Alright guys, this is kind of just a little intro to this video. So I'm obviously doing the helmet review. You can tell that by the title of the video. I will say my GoPro kind of like froze up. I don't know if it overheated or something in the middle of the video. So if there's any like repeated things in the video, I apologize. It's just because I didn't know exactly what I was talking about when it stopped. So hopefully there's not a whole lot of that, but we're just gonna get right into it. See ya. Alright guys, so obviously by the title of the video, we're going to be reviewing the ICON AIRFLITE helmet. I just picked this up. This is only my second helmet since I've been riding, because I've only been riding for about 4 years. It's like 330 bucks or something like that. So we're just going to jump right into it. So the first thing that I want to say that I like is the face shield. This is the first face shield that I've ever had that goes all the way over the helmet, which the only thing I kind of hate about it is my GoPro mount has to go on the side, which side view kind of sucks compared to the front view. There is a lot of airflow through the front of it, through these little vents right here to get through into your face, obviously. And then the yellow color is really good for nighttime because it's a little tinted for the daytime, but it's enough to where you can still see at night without having like a black face shield. The only reason that I got the Halo helmet was because it was the only helmet that they had in my size. I was gonna get a black or a white one, probably a white one because they're cooler. But they didn't have any in my size, so I got the other one. The next thing that I really like about this helmet, I actually just tried it out the other day because I've only ridden with it a few times since I've gotten it, is the air vents. This is the first helmet that I've ever had that you can actually feel the difference. I worked third shift. I was riding home in the morning, and I opened them up and I could actually feel, sorry, my dog's trying to kill a fly. Anyway, I could actually feel the airflow going through the helmets, and it was actually cooling down the top of my head, which was really cool. So it's really the only helmet that I've ever had that you can actually tell the difference. Again, back to the yellow visor, that is also, there's a yellow visor that comes down on the inside. See if you can see that. Usually those are tinted, but this one's yellow to kind of match the Halo look, I assume. Alright, so let's do this again, because my GoPro stopped working for some reason in the middle of this video. So, where were we? I think I was just talking about the vents, how they actually made a difference, so we're going to skip that part. We were talking about a little bit about the yellow visor. I don't know if it got me showing you guys that, so I'm going to show you again. Maybe. So that right there is the yellow visor on the inside. That is 100% like the best visor I've had at night, just because it keeps your headlights out of your face and stuff. Not yours, but other people's. So that way you can like see at night, but it's also not too bright, you know. Same thing with the yellow visor. It helps during the day because it's a little bit of tinted, but it's not like black. So at night you can still see through it. So that's always really nice. I think the other thing I was talking about, or maybe it didn't catch this part, but the little side pieces for the GoPro that I have my GoPro mounted on, these are actually really nice because this little piece right here, I don't know if you can see that, you can actually buy these online, like you can get them separate. So that's why I like having my GoPro on the side, just because I can replace those. You know, the front mount is a better mount, but obviously my visor goes over that and I wasn't going to stick it in front of my air vent, so that would be dumb. But on the side mount, I can, if I ever want to take the GoPro off or whatever, if I decide to move it up top or something like that, I can actually replace this little side piece, so that's really nice. So the next thing I was talking about before my GoPro stopped dying, or died, is the overall fit of the helmet. I will say it's a little small when it first goes on. You know, obviously you gotta pull the straps to the side and slide it on your head, but It is pretty small, like right in here to go on your head, but once you have it on, the helmet is like perfect fit. Like I've had a lot of helmets as a kid, you know, I rode dirt bikes and everything, so this is by far my favorite fitting helmet. Once you get it on your head, it actually, you know, it's really snug against your cheeks. You can like feel everything. It's not moving around on you, and that's probably one of my favorite things about this helmet, besides, you know, the blind spots, which I'll get into that in a second. But as far as like it moving around, you know, it's not going anywhere on your head. The only thing I would say that I would rather have on this one is the quick release straps. You know, this has got your regular 2-loop strap, you loop it through and it stays on, obviously. You know, it works just as well, but the quick release straps where it just buckles in, you pull the cord down and do it, those I like a lot better. So my dad's helmet's got one of those, and those are nice, but this will work, you know. The only issue I've ever had with it is when I got my gloves on, which I'll get into those in a second too, but not a big deal. So the one thing I like about this helmet also is how light it is. It's I think I looked it up and it was 3.74 pounds or 1.7 kilograms for you non-Americans out there. I don't know your scales, but whatever. It's not, you know, as light as it could be. I'm sure there's other helmets out there that weigh, you know, lighter than a feather. You know, they're stupid, but it's super aerodynamic, super light. My neck doesn't get tired on long rides. You know, it's a lot more comfortable than my last helmet was, because my other helmet was a lot heavier than this. The only time I ever really feel any resistance or anything is when I have my GoPro mounted on the side, and you can kind of feel the wind pushing back on the GoPro, but that's no big deal. Just because it's such a little amount of wind resistance that you can feel it, but it's not going to bug you. This helmet's got the little fin on the back, obviously. You know, it's very aerodynamic. It's probably the most non-noisy and vibrating helmet that I've had on the road, because my other one was really bad. It was, you know, cheap little $150 from, I think it was a Fulmer or something like that, but it was a cheap helmet. I got it for my first helmet just because it's all I could afford at the time. So one thing I will say about this helmet that I kind of touched on before my GoPro stopped working is the blind spots on this helmet. So your peripheral vision is easily 100% better than on my other helmet. I don't know if that's like a new helmet thing nowadays. I haven't really been up to par on helmets. I mean, it's not something I keep up with, but this one I can see a lot more of my peripheral vision. I don't have to turn my head all the way around to see cars in my blind spot or whatever. You know, I can see a lot more, and that makes me more comfortable when I ride, obviously, because I know what's around me. I will say, I don't know if I put this in the new video or the one that got trashed. I have car wax on my visor, and it was kind of just a test. I don't know if it's going to work as well as I wanted it to, but I just put some car wax on there, you know, buffed it all off like how you would a car. And I'm hoping that, like, you go through bugs or anything like that, it'll be really easy to clean off because it's on wax, not right on your visor. You know, I was thinking if it works for my Camaro, it'll work for the visor. So back to the GoPro. I ordered a microphone for my GoPro so I can start motovlogging. The only thing I have to worry about now is the mic adapter for the Hero 7 Black, which I think is like $150 or something like that. So I'm gonna go look for one of those today, see if I can't find one at like Best Buy or something like that. You'll know by the end of this video if I got it, and then I can start making GoPros, or I can start making motovlogs. That way I'll have a lot more content to be putting out to you guys in the meantime of, like, you know, waiting for install videos, which I have a plan for my Hayabusa. It's expensive, so I haven't done it yet. But that'll be a lot better once I get a microphone that I can actually put in there so I can talk to you guys instead of you just hearing a bunch of wind noise, because that's annoying. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the gloves, and these are also Icon. Icon's not like a favorite brand of mine. I haven't worn enough of their stuff to really like have a favorite brand. But these were recommended to me by the guy who works at the shop. He's a buddy of mine. His family owns the local shop, but these are Icon Nightbreeds. I assume that's the name of them. It also says Icon 1000 on the front. I don't know if that's like a brand or or not brand, but I don't know if that's like a sub name or something like that. I don't know. But these are only $54 or something like that, and they're super comfortable. I like them a lot. The guy who recommended them to me says he bought, you know, $120 pair of gloves and really expensive gloves and all different types, and these are still the ones that he prefers, and they're half that price, so that's really good. I will say what I like about these, besides the comfort, they move a lot on your hands, and that's nice, but they also have the, I don't know if you can see that, the touchpad for your phone on the forefinger and the thumb, so that's also really nice. It's got a lot of like flexibility up front and like air pockets in your fingers, you know, so if it gets hot out, which it is, and I always wear my gloves. It's like gloves and helmet is the one thing that, like, two things that I do not refuse. Like that, helmets and gloves are pretty much like the two things that I always wear. They're to me the most important, besides pants, obviously. But because I mean, my views on it is when you fall off your bike, first thing you do is you put your hands down, and gloves are important for protecting your hands. But I was trying to kill a fly. Anyway, I'm gonna head to, I think, Best Buy right now and see if I can't find a GoPro adapter for my mic, so that way I can start getting this hooked up and start doing motovlogs. So I will see you guys in a little bit and let you know how that works out. Peace.